Hey, what's going on, Pats Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Cans Pats Talk Patriots podcast. Happy to be back with y'all, man. Today is Tuesday. I got my boy Stats with me. What's going on, bro?
What's up? What's up? Been a long time, but we got a lot to talk about. So
Yes, it is. It's been a very long time since we ain't been live in forever, man. What's new with you?
nothing much. School's coming up, but that means football season's almost here. So I'm excited. We got a lot of stuff.
Almost here, man. We played the Eagles last Thursday night. So just do a little quick recap. I know it seems like it's been forever. What really stood out to you? I'm gonna go ahead and start. We already know Drake made his debut. I ain't gonna say debut, but he played a lot more than what we thought he was gonna play. Played into the third quarter. What 6 for 11, 47 yards, a rushing touchdown. A couple of throws that should have been caught by Javon Baker. But other than that, man, Drake May, he came as advertised, man. What's going on?
Yeah, that's the first thing that everyone wants to talk about is Drake May. Like you said, there was a few throws that Baker should have had. One of them, it would have been illegal touching since he was he stepped out of bounds, but still, it was a great ball by Drake May, whether he was in bounds or not. And obviously, like the 55-yard throw he had to Baker that was on the money that he barely looked like he put anything into. People talk about, Joe Milton's got the arm, but Drake May is not far off. We knew this out of college. Drake May has a cannon for an arm. He literally barely looked like he put anything into that. He couldn't have put it in a better spot. And my takeaway from Javon Baker, his hands, we knew they were inconsistent coming out of college, but he is separating and he's getting open. So, that's that. You can look at that as, a high point. I do think Javon Baker's stock went a little down from that game, just from those. Another high point in that game was our defensive line. Jeremiah Farms Jr., Keon White stepping up. Along with, guys on the lower end, even like Sam Roberts had a nice day. I like the depth that we have there. I'm still kind of questioning the whole Armand Watts signing. I don't even know if he's going to make the final 53.
I haven't heard from him all offseason. Yeah. The only time I heard from when we signed him.
Yeah, he's like taking like third. He's not even like a second team guy right now, but I love the D line. I like Daniel Quale a lot. Dietrich Wise has had some nice plays. Josh Uche, he looked explosive off the line. The D line and Drake May were the highlights, and then Jalen Polk was another one for me. I know he only got a few targets, but he had one check down. We all saw it. Made two guys miss. Pretty much made James Bradbury jump into retirement early. And then he did it to another guy. I think he's going to be probably our most consistent guy, come week week 6 or 7. Right now, I'd probably still give it to Pop, but I'll let you go on with this because, I know this is your – but I do have a question for you, though. What do you think about Jacoby Brissett?
Well, first and foremost, it wasn't a good performance. And the first game, even though he didn't play a lot, that wasn't a good performance. I think it was 0 for 3 in the first game. This game, he got sacked. He was stumbling, coming from under center. He threw the interception in the red zone. He actually drove us down the field and whatnot. Crazy man. I don't want to overreact because it's one bad game, but he has had some bad practice lead up to that. But it's not looking good right now. It's just funny how we was texting back and forth earlier, and I told you how when everybody was saying Joe Milton could surpass Drake May and Drake May struggling, the Patriots picked the wrong guy. Everybody was saying, he's gonna be a bust and all that. He ain't gonna see the field. Now that Drake May started to come on and it's a real competition, and I think he has a good shot to start on week 1 that we get into whether he is or not in a second here, but I think he has a good chance to start. You're not hearing a lot of talk, so you're not hearing a lot of people talk about it. So if I had to grade Jacoby Brissett before, I give it a D- because it was bad. I ain't gonna give him an F because he did drive him down on the first drive, but it hasn't been good. I think the day they did practice today, he kind of bounced back today, but I don't think it was a padded practice today. You weren't there today. I think it was closed to the media, but I don't think it was a padded. It was open to the media. It wasn't open to the fans. I don't think it was a padded practice or whatnot, and he kind of bounced back pretty good. I heard he had a big long pass to Taquan Thornton over Christian Gonzalez. Drake May, again, he stood out. He played pretty good. Drake May's on his tail, man. I think it's close. And guess what? We still got, about 2.5 weeks into the season, so we got plenty of time. It's a big game this Sunday in Washington. Game I might go to this game. I might be at the game Sunday. Yeah, I might be there Sunday, so we'll see. But I think it's a big game for May. It's a big game for both quarterbacks. But I think if May comes out, and just imagine the conversation we having if Javon Baker catches maybe just one of those 3 targets.
Yep.
Let's just say he catches the deep one, but he drops the other 2. Because I actually thought the second one, they look like May hesitate a little bit on that one right there. So I won't put all that on Baker. But the first one, you didn't let the corner, I think it was Ringo, push you out of bounds like that. And then you had the last one. I thought he was going to catch it, and then he dropped it. If he catches that deep ball, I think May starting. I think we're having a different combo because his yards there was like a 50-yard pass, I think.
Yeah. It was around
Like,
that.
It wasn't a touchdown because he was falling to the ground. But I mean, and if he catches that ball and then we go into the end zone and score, I think Drake Mason starting quarterback week 1. I think that would have sealed it right there. I think the staff, everybody would have seen everything they needed to know.
I 100% agree. You brought up a few good points. I'm gonna go back to Jacoby Brissett really quick. There was one play, the play that he actually threw the interception on. If you were listening to the game, you're listening to Scott Zolak. They were in the McCourties. They were saying no one was open. No one can get separation. If you really break the film down, Tyquan Thornton made a guy fall off an out route. He was wide open. He was jumping up, calling for the ball. And Brissett looked at him, and he didn't throw it. And then Pop Douglas did a dig route in the middle. He was open too. But then he looked to his third option, which is Hooper. He was pretty much the most locked up one out of all of them. Yeah. That does worry me. He also overthrew. I forget who it was. He had a bad overthrow to somebody, and then he doesn't look super fluent in the pocket. I will give him the benefit of the doubt for the first game. It was raining out. It wasn't great weather, and the weather wasn't great at Gillette on last Thursday either. But he had some plays where he didn't look super fluent. I mean, obviously, consistently he does maybe look a little more comfortable than May in the pocket. But I'm just telling you right now, Drake May's confidence is building up every single day, and he's catching up to Jacoby Brissett. Just a month ago, Gerard Mayo was guaranteeing Brissett to start. Now his answer is we don't have one yet. So that means Drake May is right there. A couple more things. Drake May took more reps today in the 11s. I think Drake May took 11. I believe Brissett only took 8, which doesn't mean the world. But also Drake May played reps with Okorafor, who had a very nice game against the Eagles in City Sal. And then this Sunday coming up, Drake May can win the job. This is the QB battle right here this Sunday against Washington. This is probably the biggest preseason Patriots game in 20 plus
preseason,
in 20 plus years. If you guys, I get if some of you guys aren't into preseason games like me and Ken are. We're just football.
I love the preseason.
Yeah, me too. We love it. We like to see guys make the team. If you're not into it, I really recommend watching this weekend because jobs are going to be won and lost, especially the quarterback position. So it's going to be interesting.
Joseph said, "What's up, boys? Glad to see you back on. Glad to see you too, Joseph." Let's see. The main thing I'm curious to hear you two guys' opinions on if Drake May is better than Jacoby Brissett. Will our problems on the offensive line make Mayo not play Drake, even if he's better? Good question. I think the offensive line. A lot of people saying the offensive line is a detriment to playing May, but as we've seen, Drake May can escape from a bad offensive line. He make offensive line look better. Now you don't want your quarterback running for his life on every play. So that is another valid point, but you don't want to just throw Jacoby Brissett to the wolves either by having him playing behind a bad offensive line. Yeah. So basically, you're saying like, "Hey, we don't care about you. You go out." So you don't want to say that. So that doesn't come off right. But if I had to say right now, me personally, I thought about this day. I've been going back and forth on it. I think May should start week 1. I mean, not May, but I think Brissett should start week 1. Only because if you start Drake May, he struggles. The month is too big for him. You can't bench him. You can't go from it because then you can't. So I've been going back and forth on it since spring and since the padded practices, mini count, training count. I think I'm comfortable. Let Brissett, unless Brissett falls flat on his face the next couple of weeks. Let Brissett start week 1 and then give May the ball. Let May start. I say by October. Let Brissett play the first few games by the good month and then let May, because it's easy to go from the veteran quarterback that's struggling to the rookie.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Rookie, they're going back to Brissett. That's how I feel. So let me know what y'all guys think there in the chat. I think we should go from Brissett to May. The only way May should start week 1 is if he is just next couple weeks, he continues to stack these practices. He's miles better than Brissett. That's the only way I think. Because you can hurt him mentally if you take him out. Let's just say he plays Cincinnati in a couple weeks. Pick 6, it's a mess. You can't bench him. You can't. So you could, I mean, because if you go with May should start for 17 games for the rest of the year. You can't go back to Brissett. I
No,
don't
you
think you
can't.
can do it. So,
I completely agree. It's gonna, especially because he's so young. You know, a guy like Brissett can handle that. He knows what he is now. He's a
yeah,
great guy that's gonna come and fill for young guys. May, if you start him weeks 1 and 2 and he doesn't look good, and you throw Brissett in, May's whole year is thrown off. His whole confidence is thrown off, which he looks like he's building really well right now. Um, but I do agree with that. But it wouldn't surprise me if May starts week 1. You know, they seem like they really have liked the progress that he's had. So have I. But you bring up a really good point with Brissett. And with the offensive line, you know, when people hear that, oh, the O line's bad, that's all they like to point out. It's pretty much only the left side of the line, because the right side of the line has been holding their own. Um, Andrews, Owenu, and Okorafor against the Eagles were very good. They all had very high grades. PFF gave them. Vidarian Lowe had a bad false start and almost
yeah,
got our QB of the future killed on a bad sack that sometimes is called roughing the passer in the NFL nowadays. The guy fell right on top of him. He lost the guy I think it was the running back, and then he just let him get, right to May. He like I said, he had a false start. I've really liked what Elliott Wolf and Mayo have done this offseason, except for, what kind of Elliott Wolf said about Vidarian Lowe. He said he likes the progress that he's seen. And, if he got asked a question specifically about him, I would be like, he has to say that. He can't say, oh, he's not good. But they didn't even ask him about Lowe. They asked him about the O-line in general. And he
yeah,
specifically brought up his name, which I can't agree with at all. I don't think he's had any progress at all. Maybe, progress from being the worst tackle in the league to almost being the second worst tackle in the league,
right.
because, I just haven't seen progress there. I heard Michael Wenu took, snaps at right tackle today, which doesn't really, follow what Elliott Wolf said. He said they're confident in the line that they have, but if you're moving a guard to tackle, you clearly aren't. So I think those are kind of just, things you have to say to the media. I don't think our line is fully set yet. Vidarian Lowe played until the late third quarter, which tells me that at that point he was fighting for a starting spot. So I think it's going to change come week 1 from what it is right now.
And I think, remember, Mayo said a couple weeks back that he wants to have the offensive line figured out by the second preseason game. I still don't think we have an answer there.
Oh, it's
I don't. I don't think. Man, then waiver wire. That's a good. Glad we on this. The waiver wire. I think you got to start cutting the players next week. So
Yep.
I think we're gonna be on it. We got the number 3 pick and number 3 slot in the waiver wire. I think we're gonna pick up a tackle, maybe even a tight end, which we're about to get into. We got a lot of injuries. Austin Hooper got hurt. I think he came back to practice today. Hunter Henry's been out. I think Wilcox has been out. Jaheim Bell. He's been scoring some. He's had a pretty good practice yesterday. I don't know what he did today, but I think tight end depth is starting to get slim. I think O'Shane Azimne is one of my favorites. I think he's going to really not replace Judon, but he's going to be a pivotal part for the season if he can stay healthy. He's been out of practice. Uche's been out of practice. It's like there's always something going on with Uche sometimes. Yeah, I think from a health standpoint, we started to get banged up. I think Jonathan Jones, Marcus Jones, they came back. Let me get your take on something right quick with the offensive line. Would you be more comfortable starting Caden Wallace at left tackle and benching Vidarian Lowe, or just letting Vidarian Lowe tough it out or whatnot? He's been bad because if the rookie Caden Wallace, if he starts or whatnot, you seem like even if he's bad, he can improve. You would think because he's young. But you
Yeah.
already know what you got in Vidarian Lowe. So how you feel about the left tackle situation?
Well, I talked about this with Rob the other night. My ideal starting offensive line in come week 1 is Wallace at left tackle, Sal at left guard, Andrews at center, Layden Robinson at right guard, and Michael Wenu at right tackle. Because I'm fine with Okorafor too. If Okorafor starts at I'm kind of flip flopping between Okorafor and Wallace, but I just think Layden Robinson is on a really strong camp, but the problem with him is you can't really move him from where he plays. He's kind of set in stone at right guard. That's kind of what he is. Michael Wenu's kind of flexible. I would like him at right guard. But he's a strong right tackle too. We saw it last year. He was very good. I just don't think Vidarian Lowe can even be in the conversation to start. We've talked about this a million times. I would much rather go with the guy with more upside, and I think Layden Robinson has earned some playing time this year. I even think Nick Leverett has a chance to play some snaps this year. And then, Okorafor, Wallace, whatever. But, if they do decide to keep Owenu at right guard, I would like our 2 tackles to be Wallace and Okorafor. And I saw Wallace taking some snaps at right tackle. I'd
Yeah.
probably keep Okorafor there and just play Wallace at left just because it's just
Yeah,
not.
because Wallace played right tackle at Penn State
Yeah, but
in
I've heard
college.
more of like a left, like I don't know, but I think those are the two ideal tackles if they decide to keep Owenu where he is.
I like this question. As frustrating as it was to see Baker not make that play, it was good sign to see him get separation, get open. I'm trying to spin that in a positive way. Yeah, he has something that a lot of our receivers don't have. He can separate. He can get open. Okay, but the last part, you got to catch the ball. And he's been struggling catching. He's been straight. He was a 4th-round pick. He's not a first, second round, 3rd-round pick. So this right here was, if you look at his scouting report, this was a knack of him coming out of college. He struggled to catch the ball consistently. He was a real inconsistent, but he does. It's some of the little things that Baker has to work on. I really think if he catches one of those balls, we having a totally different conversation right now.
Yeah,
I mean, we're probably talking about him as your starting X wide receiver, and we're talking about Drake May probably starting week 1. If Baker, he's been struggling in camp in the last week or so. If he can come on a little bit, start catching some of these balls, it's going because right now I think Taquan Thorne's ahead of him starting the X. Then Kayshawn Boutte, I think he's gonna make the team. Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing with Javon Baker is, we don't have many X's on the team because Jalen Polk, he's not an X. KJ Osborne, not an X. Pop Douglas, not an X. Kendrick Bourne, when he comes back, is not an X. So you really only have Tyquan Thornton, maybe Kayshawn Boutte, and Javon Baker. So he doesn't really have a tough position battle, but he's kind of losing the job, for himself. He's kind of hurting himself by doing that, because I think, coming into training camp, a lot of people thought he was going to be the starting X or not the starting X, but he was going to be, our guy come week 8 at the X position. Because, we got a lot of slot guys, we got a lot of Z's. We just don't really have a lot of X's. And I don't really love Tyquan Thornton, although he has had some plays. But Javon Baker's kind of hurting himself right now because I think beginning of camp, he's making some plays. People were like, okay, we finally got our guy. But then he goes out, in Philly, and he did have some nice plays. And I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on one of those throws. Drake did hesitate. You still got to catch that ball when right through it.
That ball.
I know that pass is ideally supposed to be right in the chest because you're going to get hit by a defender immediately. But you still got to catch that ball. We're nitpicking with Drake May. And then obviously the deep ball, he got separation, but you need to catch that. Not only for your sake, but it'll help your rookie quarterback with his confidence too. Because he could not have thrown that any more perfect. There was 2 defenders out there. He threw it right in the middle of them. Perfect space for
post.
Yep, perfect space for Baker to dive out to. And you got to make that play if you want to be in the NFL. Because it's awesome. We could talk about the separation. We could talk about this. We could talk about how he has explosiveness. But at the end of the day, you're a receiver. You got to catch the football.
Yeah, catch the ball.
So, we need to see improvement there. Like we said, he was a 4th rounder. He had problems like that.
Yeah.
And he had another drop today too, I believe. So he's got a lot to work on with the hands. But other than that, I do like what I've seen from him so far. But he's got to have a big week against Washington.
He's young. I think he'll get better. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be Stephon Diggs or DK Metcalf or Jamar Chase, a number 1 wide receiver. I think he'll be better. It's so much talent. The talent is there. He just got to put everything together.
Yep.
Joseph said Brissett looked rough, no question about it. You guys are right, in my opinion. May has closed the gap big time. Agreed.
100%.
Let me see, Diane. That May looking better and better. Yep. Yes, he has to keep stringing along the days. Let me see. Mike Larry, Brissett can't throw the deep ball either. It's out of bounds or short, no in between. Yeah, I've seen that on a bunch of occasions with Brissett. Yeah, May better hurt.
It's not like Brissett doesn't have like the arm strength because he has a pretty good arm, but he against Philly the first week. Against Carolina the first week, he actually had Tyquan Thornton and he underthrew him. And then this week, I think it was Jalen Polk. He
had him wide open.
Yeah, he was wide open. He overthrew him by 5 yards. So he hasn't really found that
accuracy.
Yeah, accuracy. Hopefully he can find that against Washington, but we'll see.
May better hurry up and walk him down and take the job away. Joseph says true. Sports Academy May looks poised and in control. Seriously, look like a veteran. Good to see. Yeah, man, I like his scrambling ability. It's something that we haven't had that. You saw we saw a little bit like we was panicking over him having a few bad practices. But I think some people are practice players and some people are just game players. Some people, you turn the lights on, they just come on and play. And that's what we've seen from May in a small sample size. I think this week against Washington, which we're going to get into tomorrow and probably Wednesday. Y'all in here? Got Sav, got a few y'all in here right now. like the channel, subscribe to me on YouTube, share the content on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you at. Make sure you give me that thumbs up on YouTube. But I think we're gonna see a lot of him this Sunday in Washington. Cause I think we're gonna want to put on a show to make to let Washington know that we got the right guy, and then Washington's probably going to say, well, we know oh yeah. Speaking of Washington, they just named Daniels the starting quarterback.
Yep.
So I think the pressures. I'm not gonna say it's on yet, but it's gonna. I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see.
Yeah. But the thing with Daniels is like he's also 3 years older than Drake, so
Yeah,
like
he is.
he needs to be good right away because he's also an athletic quarterback. They don't last as long, so he needs to be good right away. And this is what's good about May is if he's not ready this year, he has time. He's only 21. He's about to turn
Plenty
20.
of time.
So we got plenty of time.
See, Joseph said, makes sense, Ken, as far as percent starting. Okay, this may be goofy, but is there any chance by the end of the year Milton is our backup because of an injury, just because of the field play? Well, Jacob Brissett has been known to get hurt. He has. He's had like some hamstring injuries, some leg injuries, or something. There's always been something going on with him. So even if he's a starter, I wouldn't be surprised if now I'm not saying Milton gonna start a game, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody if he gets hurt and we have to replace him.
Yeah, and I think this week kind of shut up the Milton hype train because his first throw he had was a horrendous read, nearly got intercepted. It should have been picked off. It would have been picked off by one of their number ones, but at that point it was like the end of the third quarter. But with Milton, we know Brissett has injuries and he's not getting any younger. He's not really athletic, so if he makes a wrong cut, he could get hurt immediately. So I think Milton will be the second quarterback, but I wouldn't be surprised if Zappy's on the roster come week one just because of, if they really don't think Drake May is ready. He knows the system. He's not exciting. He's not going to win us football games. We don't want Zappy to play, but he knows the system. He's a little more experienced than Drake. We don't love. I know no one wants Zappy to play, and personally, if I had to pick, I think Zappy's getting cut after Washington. But this opinion kind of changed for me after the Eagles game, because before the Eagles game, Drake had we only saw one drive in the NFL out of Drake, and it was kind of whatever. So we were kind of like, oh, Brissett's probably going to start, and then May will be benched. But now that May played, he's been playing really well. I don't think there's a spot for Zappy on the team because I think if Brissett is struggling, I think May is just going to take it over right away.
Agreed. Sports Academy, completely agree with that logic. Can start the veteran and go to the rookie rather than the opposite. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Please make sure y'all hit that like button on YouTube. The left side of the line is sketchy at best. Agreed. Big time.
Yep. It's pretty much just left tackle because I like City Sal at left guard a lot.
Yeah. If May is our starter, do you think he is athletic enough to overcome our offensive line? Good question. I think he is, but like I said in my open statement, you don't want him running for his life on there just because he's athletic. No, you don't want that to be the reason. He could easily get hurt. Something can happen. You don't want to just be running for his life.
Yeah, because Drake, like you said, Drake May is athletic and he has the ability to make those plays, but you can't rely on him to do that every single time because
he won't make life easier for him.
Yeah, because although he is a athletic, can get out of the pocket quarterback, when he has the line, he is a good pocket passer as well. So you don't want Drake May to be running around every play. And I think he ran at the right times last week. There was one where he kind of rolled out of the pocket a little too quickly. Yeah. But other than that, I think Drake May rolled out well, and he didn't look scared to get hit. He went right into the defenders. God forbid he doesn't get hurt, please. But he
and look, what I like too. Not to cut you off. You know what I like? He was throwing the ball away. Wasn't forcing anything because we saw in his college tape he threw all the balls away. So he went 6 for 11. So what is that? That's 4 or 5 misses or whatnot. 3 of those were throwaways and two were drops by Baker. So I mean, if you look at it, if Baker catches 2 of those balls, maybe he probably got close to 100 yards, maybe a touchdown or something like that. Like I think he played a really good. I give it a A- of a grade.
I agree. Like if those stats are a little misleading because 47 yards isn't great, but he did a lot of good things that don't come up on the score the score sheet. He had that one play where he rolled out to the left. He had I think it was Nolan Smith right in his face. He jumped, threw a sidearm pass to Mitchell Wilcox, got 6 yards out of it. I'm sorry. I hate
There's a penalty on that play too.
Yeah, Mac Jones roughing the passer. Mac Jones getting sacked there. A lot of quarterbacks are getting sacked.
Mac Jones getting sacked, Jacoby Brissett getting sacked. A lot of guys are getting sacked right now.
That's a tough play because as soon as you turn your head, there's a guy right 5 feet away from you in your face. So his ability to jump sideways, throw that ball, that's the plays Drake May can make. And that, little things like that, are flashes of what we're going to get for the next, hopefully 15, 20 years.
Joseph said, Patriot status, you are so on point with the left tackle position. Shout out. Good. Okay. You're so right, Ken on Baker. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Neil Ray, what's going on with you, man? What's up, guys? Appreciate it.
What's up, Neil?
What's up with you, Neil? Joseph, okay, Joseph, what up, Neil? What's up, Joseph? Let's see.
About having some conversations.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh.
Makes for a good night. Neil May has substantially improved to probably start by week 5. How you feel about Wood's comments on Lowe? I say shocking, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Wolf said that we're going to be active on the waiver thing whenever guys start getting cut. We got to get a tackle up in there. We need some depth there. I don't feel good about Lowe. If week 1 in Cincinnati, we got 2 weeks to break down that game. I think they got Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, they ain't no slouches. Trey Hendrickson is a Pro Bowl player. He can play. And I don't know who their 2 defensive tackles are, but it's the edges. I'm not concerned about the middle. It's the edges.
Yeah, because they lost DJ Reader, so their D line.
Yeah, they lost DJ Reader. Yeah. But Trey Hendrickson, he's a double-digit sack guy. He can play. So I mean, we in trouble. We in trouble. We got to get that. We got to get that figured out.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier on the show. Actually, I think it's funny because Wolf, after just after saying those comments about Vidarian Lowe, how he improved. A minute later, he said, but we are going to be active on the waiver wire, which tells me that they are 100% going to be looking at the tackle position. Arizona just released a tackle today, actually. I forget his name. That. I think that's a guy we could for sure be looking at, because really anybody could be an upgrade at left tackle because, you can't get much worse there. Sports Academy had a good comment up there that we'll get to in a second about it. But, you just can't get much worse there. So we will be active there.
Good point. Yeah, May caught a blitz and adjusted. I left my favorite play tonight when he adjusted to that blitz. And yeah, that was a good play.
I saw. Yeah, was that the play where it's the play where he went to Polk, right? It was.
I believe. Yeah. He went to Polk in the flats. Yep.
Gonna be a play action play. He backed up to shotgun. That was one of my favorite plays I've ever seen. That was awesome.
Neil, Joseph says Neil, I hate to say this, but Drake May for me looks like Josh Allen, or at least he has the ceiling of Josh Allen. It's so exciting to have a mobile quarterback. Yeah, something different, man.
Yep,
something different. He just, it looks so good. Yeah, 100%. Everyone hit that like button. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Joseph. Hit that like button. Joseph, it's great to see Allen is a good quarterback and resident. Good point. Dual threat. So yeah, Neil, playing against Josh Allen is an absolute nightmare. I think May can be that guy if he hits his ceiling. Yeah,
I agree. I see 3 quarterbacks in May. I see Jordan Love with the passing, the arm talent, the way he throws. I see Justin Herbert with the arm strength, ability to hit guys deep, and then I see Josh Allen with the rushing ability. He's Drake May's a big dude, so he's not gonna go down easy, and he's only gonna get bigger. Muscle wise, Josh Allen did. His rookie year, he wasn't like Josh Allen's a monster now, but his rookie year,
he kind of throws it like Herbert to me a little bit.
Yeah. I'm just saying what Jordan Love, like the arm angles sometimes.
Yeah.
But his release is definitely very similar to Justin Herbert. But if you're combining those 3 guys, I am not complaining. So
Neil says no Zappy. I think Zappy, but he need to ball out Sunday in Washington. I'm talking about he need to have, but I think even if he does, I think he's off the roster. I think we've seen enough from Joe Milton. Think about going back to Milton for a point. He throws the ball too daggone hard for one. Yeah. He throws the ball to he's throwing screen passes like he's like he's playing in the snow, so like trying to drop the ball.
Well, the main problem with Milton is when you're hitting a guy on a hitch route or an out route, you're supposed to throw the ball as soon as they break, or maybe even a little before that. The problem with Milton, he thinks in his head his arm is strong enough to wait that extra second to throw it, and that's not how the NFL is. In college, you might get away with it because the DBs aren't as strong, but we saw it on his literal first snap in the game against Philly. It was almost an interception because it was a really late read, and then he waits that extra second because he thinks he can get it in there with his arm. And you're right, he throws like all joking aside, the screen passes he throws they're too hard. It's supposed to be a little loft. He throws like bullet passes. It's weird. The problem with Zappy is I'm not even sure he's gonna play on Sunday because you got to think Brissett's probably gonna get another few drives, and then
Drake. I think Brissett might play a quarter.
I heard Drake May's playing at least 2 quarters, and then that leads you to the fourth quarter with Milton. And what is Zappy gonna clean up? I don't even know if he's gonna play, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see, man. Joseph says so true, Ken, about May running to save his life. Yeah, you don't want to, just because he got the run and escape ability, you don't want him doing it all game. Now you look like a Cam Newton. That's how Cam Newton and RG3 got ran to the ground.
Yep.
Neil Ray Joseph, facts. Just so you know, we will be back live tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Got a special guest coming tomorrow. We're going to talk my boy Know That Sports. He's coming on. We're going to talk some ball, talk Patriots, talk Cowboy. He's a Cowboy fan. We're going to talk the whole league tomorrow night. So make sure you're live tomorrow night. Know That Sports will be with us live. Going to rely more on Uche without Judon. Good point. I think so. I think Uche. Didn't he have a sack against Philly?
Yeah, he did it. Also, there was a play where it was Kenny Pickett threw the ball. But Uche cleanly beat the left tackle. Sorry. He looked like prime Uche. Josh Uche's best game he's ever had was against Arizona 2 years back. And even that whole 2022 season, he was making tackles look silly. He was getting around them with ease. He's super shifty. He's not the strongest. He's not going to be with his strength. But, his speed off the line, I would love to see him, go back to his 2022 form because that we need someone like that this year.
Big year for Uche, I think. It got to be. He wants big contracts. It got to be a big year for him.
Yep.
Joe said, "I'll talk to anyone." Sports Academy. The scary thing is with May being a righty, he can't see behind him, and he's going to be exposed with that left side weakness. Yeah, good point.
The comment I was talking about, the left tackle position. With righty quarterbacks, which is every QB in the NFL besides Tua.
The left tackle position has to be right.
It's the most important position. Might even be more important than receivers because, if you're letting a guy get around you every time to your quarterback's backside, that's how injuries start to happen, So that's a good comment. You need to have that left tackle position figured out. And we're a week away from the final preseason game, and we still don't have it figured out, which does scare me.
Joseph, but I love listening to you guys. So try not to blab too much.
we like the comments. We like the comments.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Let's see. Sports Academy. Wolf's comments on Lowe were mind-boggling. Does he see the same thing we see? Good Lord. Well, I think I think Elliott Wolf kind of want to save his face right now because he's the one that made. Yeah. Now, Vidarian Lowe came in last year. Belichick was there last year, so that was part of the Belichick. But I don't know if Elliott Wolf had anything to do with that. But I think Elliott kind of want to save his face right now. He's not obviously going to come out and say what we want him to say. He's not going to say that.
Yeah,
but they smart. They know what they're doing and whatnot. I don't think Lowe starts week 1. I think it's going to be Caden Waller. I think they're going to figure out something, or just put Chuck Secor for back at left and put Caden Waller. We need to get the best 5 out there and get them going or whatnot because we can't keep going back and forth with this. Might have frozen there. Stats. Okay, stats say he lost power. He will. He probably come back. Ella, he said we active on waiver wire. We getting left tackle. Then agree. Jerry, what's going on with you? I think it's gonna be Brissett. Like I was saying earlier, Jerry, I don't know if you heard me. I think you got to start Brissett because if you start May and then he struggles, then that's not you can't bench him. You're basically tied to him. If you start May and he struggles, you tied. You can ruin the kid because you can't bench him no more. That's why I say I think you start Brissett, let him play by the good month, and then go from there. It's easy to go from the veteran to the rookie and the rookie to the veteran. That deep throw to Baker was fire. It'll take a long time for Baker to develop. Then Pope, he will improve in time. I agree. Stats lost power, so hopefully he can come back on before we get off. Milton does have no touch. Yeah, Milton is nice, but some are seriously risky pick 6 throws. Yeah. Let's see. A lot to develop. Yeah, with Joe Milton got developed. Well, to be a Pats fan moving forward, Big Chris. Hey, hit that like button, subscribe. Please give me that thumbs up on YouTube. I appreciate it. Milton is raw, 1000%. Okay, Joseph, we know that. Yeah, he's raw. I mean, he. Did you see how he throws the ball? Like he throwing a screen pass, like he's trying to throw a dart. Jeff Bezos wants to policy by the Celtics. I heard that too, Neil. Farm, Examiners, White, James, all fire defensive guy. Yeah, they've been looking good in the preseason. Now it has been to get backups. They have to do it against first team. You think Hasty or Jennings running back makes roster? I think Jennings. No, I think Hasty gonna make it. I think we can get Jennings on the practice squad. I like Hasty, but I don't know, man. Pat's bottom for the AFC East for the next decade. Hey, we'll see, Big Chris. We shall see. Appreciate the comment. Please give me that thumbs up. Hit the like button. You hear talking about the Patriots. Give me that like button. I mean, give me that thumbs up. Get Watts at left tackle or Humphreys. I think if they was going to sign Humphrey, they probably would have been and did it. Big comment so bad. Yeah, I'm saying. Okay, let's see where we're going. Big Chris, that comment is so bad in so many ways. There's not enough space on here to break that down. Well, Big Chris is gone. I just blocked him. That deep ball by May was absolutely on point and right in the breadbasket. We ain't gonna have no negative comments in here. You're gonna come in and be negative, make sure you subscribe. Joseph is not. I'm gonna say, hold on. But that deep ball by May was absolutely on point and right in the breadbasket. Yeah. Baker, like I said, coming out of college, he struggled a little bit. So I mean, he struggled with drops. So that was a knack on him coming out of college. But yeah, stats say he lost power, so he's not gonna be back on tonight. But we will be back tomorrow with Know That Sports Live, man, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you check me out up here. Please make sure you check me out. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube. We will be live tomorrow night, 7:30. Special guest. I appreciate y'all joining us tonight, man. Stats, he lost power. We have some technical issues going on, but we will be back live tomorrow night. I appreciate everybody joining me. Share the content on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Give me that thumbs up, and we will catch y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it.